Constructing lesson plans is the best way to deliver effective and engaging lessons that help us keep on track to ensure that our learners hit their goals and targets in line with our course curriculum. Hello everyone, we are from the group 4, and for today's topic, we will be talking about the teacher's stage of concern in constructing lesson plans for elementary school. Teachers are responsible for teaching students with an organized and well-planned syllabus or lesson plan and for imparting knowledge about a certain subject. It is their responsibility to ensure that students grasp what is being taught to them in the classroom. Also, teachers should work in a professional manner in accordance with their duties and responsibilities mandated to them. In the law of the Republic of Indonesia, number 14, the year 2005 on teachers and lecturers, under Article 20, stating that teachers are required to prepare for learning, conduct a high-quality learning process, and monitor and evaluate learning outcomes. Also, teachers should have a high concern on his or her job in the learning plan. Hence, the level of concern of teachers to their obligations in developing lesson plans varies greatly. In the stages of concerns, there are 7 categories of possible concerns related to the innovation of their work. Teachers who are in the early stages of a change process are more likely to be concerned about themselves, such as whether they will be able to learn a new lesson plan or how it will affect their performance at work. Individuals' concerns about broader consequences, such as how the program will affect students or their work relationships, change as they become more comfortable with and competent in utilizing innovation. And for our next discussion, we will be talking about the methodology of our topic that will be tackled by Ms. Tamayo.
Methodology. The purpose of this study was to describe teachers' stages of concern in constructing lesson plans. The approach used in this study was a descriptive study. Inventory techniques were used to collect data on the learning plan, while proper documentation was used to collect data on the identities of elementary school teachers. And the population of the study was 500 primary school teachers. Meanwhile, the research sample was 50 teachers. A random sampling technique in the form of a lottery was used to get samples. Data was collected, classified, processed, and analyzed by the using of norms of the group in the calculation of percentile. To be more specific, the research inventory or data comprises the following: the mapping of core competencies in the curriculum, the creation of a network team or of core competencies, the syllabus, the construction of the lesson plan, and the manufacturing student activity sheet.
Hello, I'm Johannes Paulo Guzman. For the result based on the data gathered in the study, 8 teachers with a 16% in the stage of concern called the stage of 0, stage of awareness. 9 teachers of 18% have a stage of concern at the level 1, the stage of information. 8 teachers of 16% have a stage of concern at level of 2, the stage of personal. 4 teachers in 8% have a stage of concern at level of 3 in the stage of management. 8 teachers of 16% have a stage of concern at the level of 4, consequence. The teachers in 20% have a stage of concern at level 5 of collaboration. And 3 teachers in 6% have a stage of concern at the level of 6 in refocusing. This indicates that they are not concerned about creating and preparing a lesson plan wherever they want to teach, and also because they have other things to prioritize that come to mind.
That is right, Mr. De Guzman, because for our analysis, there are 16% of elementary teachers who are not concerned about constructing a lesson plan when they want to teach. They come to school to teach directly with no direction on where students will be taken, without thinking of whether after the learning process, their students acquire the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of certain expected or not. Only 19% would like to know more about how to construct an effective lesson plan. And there are 16% of teachers who are on the stage of constructing a lesson plan and 20% who have ideas about how to improve their work. The highest stage of concern is the stage of refocusing concern. In this stage, teachers are not only compared to what they are doing with their coworkers, but they also have ideas for how to make their work better. Also, in the highest stage, the percentage is 20 or amounting 10 teachers with a level of collaboration. It basically shows that teachers collaborate with their peers and colleagues to improve their construction of lesson plans to give way to the promotion of quality education.
For the conclusion part of the study, let us take a look back on the findings of the study, which is quite alarming, concerning that only few teachers, specifically 3, are on the highest level of concern, which is refocusing. This is basically the idea that tremendous efforts must be exerted to provide quality education through creating quality lesson plans. Unfortunately, most teachers are still on the lower levels of concern. Like for example, 16% or 8 teachers were at the stage of awareness, which is the lowest stage of concern. Basically, awareness is the notion that teachers do not have a concern with regards to delivering effective education. Basically, lesson plan is very essential in the teaching and learning process because they serve as a route or the track on where the education of our children is going. So basically, without effective lesson plan, there would be no effective and quality education. One of the most striking aspects of this study is that most teachers are still on the lower levels of concern, which is indeed alarming because as teachers, we need to exert efforts to deliver quality education, therefore creating quality students. Lesson planning for us is a fundamental part of the teaching and learning process because it serves as a teacher's route to determine what goals, objectives, and specific learning competencies to be achieved. In other words, lesson planning gives clarity in the teaching and learning process. As aspiring educators, we firmly believe that we should be fully equipped before we educate our learners with a particular lesson. And one way of doing this is to ensure effectivity in constructing our lesson plan. For us, effectivity happens when lesson plans become meaningful on the part of students as well as for the teacher.